this series, I go behind the scenes to reveal what a sustainable hotel or lodge looks and feels like. Hi, I'm Rebecca from Kawano Travel and I'm here at Hotel Luise in Erlangen, Germany. This city is host to the world's oldest beer festival. Not only that, it's one of Europe's most cycle-friendly cities. Spot the Difference is designed for both travellers, travel agents and travel operators to learn what it takes to be a truly authentic, sustainable hotel. Together we'll go through 9 key criteria. From water, energy, waste, community, biodiversity, there is no stone left unturned. Before we continue, I'd like to mention Weeva, a smart online tool already transforming travel by helping businesses learn, measure and improve their impact. I love how Weeva makes what can often be a confusing and intimidating topic like sustainability approachable and simple. You can find out more at Weeva.Earth. Now, let's get back to Spot the Difference. So let's begin with biodiversity. How did this city hotel surrounded by high-rises become a biodiversity hotspot? And how did they find space to plant a forest? Historically, cities have been seen as a threat to biodiversity and natural ecosystems, but they can also be part of the solution. Hotel Luise was the best example I've seen yet of a city hotel where nature and people coexisted. I felt deeply moved and inspired by the attention Hotel Luise placed on nature's needs and, as a consequence, their guests' well-being. Despite its central location, this city hotel was proud to show me how 50% of the land was green space. Inspired by the TED Talk, How to Plant a Tiny Forest, Ben the owner planted just that, a tiny forest in the middle of a city. In the area out back, where most hotels would have probably just seen dead space, Ben and his team planted over 200 trees, mostly native, along with some climate-resistant plants. This tiny forest was acting as a natural air conditioner. It was connecting guests and staff with nature. It was working to mitigate the impacts of climate change, providing shade, shelter and food to the urban wildlife. The great thing about a tiny forest is that anyone can plant one. You don't need huge amounts of space and you can plant them anywhere where land is available. From this tiny forest to an oasis, Hotel Luise converted their rooftop car park into what I can only describe as an urban oasis. This space was visited by frogs, rabbits, birds, hedgehogs and countless insects. Insects crave a sip of water, just like us humans, but sometimes they need a helping hand, particularly in urban areas. It wasn't just a space for nature to visit. Guests could sit by the water's edge, helping them to reconnect and slow down. Imagine if every city car park created an oasis like this. Throughout this city hotel, there were spaces for guests and nature to coexist. One late afternoon, I simply sat by this small waterfall in the hotel garden and watched as the bees came to drink in the warm sunshine. Beyond supporting the local biodiversity and looking further afield, this hotel funds a reforestation project in Panama where they have planted nearly 15,000 native trees since 2010. Communities are at the heart of sustainable travel. So let's talk about how Hotel Luise engaged in community. Tourism can be a force for good, but only when it's supporting local economies and communities. And so often this is not the case. Let's start with a small but effective way that Hotel Luise was working to keep money in the destination. I'm calling it a vending machine with a difference. Not selling crappy or unethical chocolate owned by wealthy brands, but 100% organic local produce from peanut snacks to soups. You might be thinking, come on, it's just a vending machine, but this simple idea has transformed a street corner into something which has brought local businesses and people together. This wasn't the only space Hotel Luise was championing. Small businesses and local products keeping money circulating within the community and country. And the ways that the hotel did this was they displayed in countless areas the crafts and arts and the food products made by local small businesses. In the reception areas, guests were tempted to purchase these products. Ben, the owner, was also a really important figurehead in the Fair Trade initiative that was run within the city. With projects from local produce to fair trade footballs, he was an active member of community projects. Hotel Luise is based in Erlangen, and Erlangen is a city of bikes. With the local community at the heart of the decisions that this hotel made, they decided to create a free air pump station. The number of people who came by the hotel with their bikes to pump their tyres each day, free of charge, was a beautiful thing to watch. Another great way to support the community. But the community of a hotel isn't just about those who live on your doorstep, it's also about the staff members. And 84% of the team at Hotel Luise were women, across all roles and levels, including management. But one story in particular caught my attention. Luis, originally from Cuba, lives with his family in Germany. Hotel Luise's unique concept and approach had a profound impact on his health and well-being. Design is an important criteria we need to talk about when we look at a sustainable hotel. And you'll probably be familiar with the usual linear model within the economy, the take, make, waste model, where products and materials in circulation are wasted and all the creativity, labour and energy that went into them discarded. You might not be as familiar with the circular economy. The circular economy is restorative and regenerative by design, and this is the framework that inspired Hotel Luise's regrowing rooms. Hotel Luise's circular rooms were unique, from the carpets made from 100% upcycled fishing nets to the 100% biodegradable mattresses made with seaweed, natural rubber and coconut hairs. From the shower technology from NASA, which saved up to 90% on water compared to conventional showers, to the walls that were made from untreated straw and recycling cards. There was a very comforting and peaceful energy inside these circular rooms, and I didn't expect to feel that. The mindset that I often hear when hotels are beginning their sustainability journey is focused on language like less of this, less of that, stopping, reducing, sacrificing, which can all be seen as negative language. Ben, the owner, described his approach slightly different. When he approached sustainability, he would see it as an endless opportunity of creativity and innovation. These decking planks were made from 100% post-consumer plastic. Products produced from post-consumer plastic close the loop, directing used plastic away from landfill sites. It's the circular economy in action. Up on the green rooftop of Hotel Luise, surrounded by the business district, I found what I was looking for. Last year, this hotel's solar panels converted sunlight into electrical energy, which then powered 17% of their needs. So where did the rest come from? Well, the remaining 83% came from a certified energy company which harnessed the power of the wind and water. So really, in summary, 100% of this hotel's power was clean, green energy. I also checked out the electric car charging point provided out back, and I couldn't miss the chance to shower like an astronaut. Yes, you heard right. The regrowing rooms featured shower technology initially developed for the Mars mission by NASA. These clever showers save up to 80% on energy usage compared to conventional showers. Intelligent heaters in the rooms also saved on average 33% of energy, and the intelligent lighting system with LED lamps for light regulation supported energy conservation. Next up, we're going to talk about food and drink. The breakfast buffet at Hotel Luise celebrated organic, local and fair trade produce. The cleverly stocked shelves were there to encourage guests to support ethical brands long after checkout. Ben is one of the most creative and artistic hotel owners I've ever met, and I was excited to hear about his plans to reinvent and reimagine breakfast, with an outcome of moving people away from meat and dairy to more plant-based diets. Changing habits in people isn't easy, so I really commend him for his efforts and vision. In the hotel drink menu, guests were educated on the importance of buying local and organic products, and where the beer and wine was carefully sourced from. I also love seeing the zero waste cereal dispensers and the locally sourced juice. It was great to see a couple of beehives dotted around the hotel, and when I asked the team about it, they shared with me that it was a local 14-year-old beekeeper who was not only caring for the hives at his school, but the bees at the hotel. With the help of his mother, of course, Andre is already earning his keep, and he's boosting the bee population in the area. Let's talk about waste. Germany has been celebrated as a world leader in recycling. Its waste management system have paved the way for other countries to follow, and every year around 15 million tonnes of biodegradable waste are treated in composting and fermentation plants in Germany. These rules and regulations prevented this particular hotel creating their own compost on site. Hotel Luise was really proud to share that they produced 88% less waste compared to a hotel of the same size and category. Despite being a leader in recycling, Germany is also one of Europe's biggest producers of packaging waste, especially plastics. And when I spoke to Hotel Luise about plastic waste, I learnt that about 70% of all plastic waste created here came from guest rooms, from empty cosmetics to plastic toiletries that guests brought with them. Food waste is a global issue with rippling environmental effects, and hotel buffets are the big elephant in the room that we need to be talking about. Ben, the owner of Hotel Luise, showed me behind the scenes to learn more about how their hotel separates waste and the levels of organic waste created, as well as what happens to it next. Buffets do remain, though, notorious for waste, so I couldn't help but wonder whether Hotel Luise would just be better off moving away from buffets to a breakfast menu. How does Hotel Luise engage guests? The wall of change stood proud in the hotel lobby. It was this beacon of light and a source of inspiration to anyone and everyone who passed through. The lobby saw CEOs, business leaders, entrepreneurs, families, couples, and everybody in between walk through. And its purpose was to spark curiosity, inspire action, and invoke solutions to the biggest challenges humanity now faces. I really liked how the hotel had these bikes. They engaged us immediately in getting in and out instead of jumping in the car. It was easy to cycle from the hotel to the city within minutes. With its historic architecture and countless parks, it was a city that I felt like I could have dwelled much longer in. We also headed out one evening with Ben to explore the rolling hills and surrounding forests. Followed by my first ever German beer, it was great to take the time to learn about Ben's story and learn what life experiences had influenced his passion for sustainability. I know Ben and his team are working on ways to engage more guests in the forest trails and activities that lie outside of the city. Until I had read the book When the Rivers Run Dry, I hadn't noticed or bothered to pay attention to the global water crisis. Climate change is compounding both water scarcity and water-related hazards, and so it's a really good signpost we need to consider when we think about a sustainable stay. Showering like an astronaut was one of the most interesting approaches I've seen to date on conserving water. Last but not least, let's talk about housekeeping. I've never experienced a coconut seaweed mattress before, but I can happily report back that it was not only comfortable, but it just was really nice to be around. When we're around natural materials, it can promote a relaxing outdoor feeling in us, and a mattress is no different. The housekeeping team were all trained really well on using eco-friendly biodegradable cleaning products, so no nasty chemicals. Sustainability is not a destination but an ever-evolving journey. I was really inspired by Ben and his team's creativity, ambition and vision. Despite Hotel Luise being one of Europe's leading sustainable hotels, there's always room for improvement. In the years to come, I'd love to see the breakfast celebrate more plant-based foods. With meats and cheeses within easy reach, I couldn't help but wonder if the hotel could try a plant-based theme, perhaps one day per week to begin with. Being in a business district, I'd love to see this hotel host an annual workshop for local businesses and entrepreneurs in their creative, inspiring event space, sharing not only the circular economy concept, but inspiring other businesses to begin their sustainability journey. I'd love to see Hotel Luise explore alternatives to these EU eco-label toiletries. I wasn't convinced by these plastic containers or the ingredients. Despite the fancy label, as Shania Twain would say, their criteria didn't impress me much. Refillable clay pots made by a local business and organic soap sourced from a women-led business, for example, would be far better. With so many of us looking to travel in a more sustainable way, but not really sure how to go about it, I hope these videos help make it easier. Whether you're a couple looking for a city break, or you're lucky enough to work within the tourism industry, I'm passionate about shining a light on the people and places that are leading the way in sustainable travel. Places just like Hotel Luise in Erlangen, who are proof that travel can be a force for good. The cool thing is we all have the power to drive change within the industry. Yes, even you, by simply voting with your wallet every time you travel and engage in an experience. So my question is, who gets your vote?